Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We the real Hebrew Israelites coming out to prophesy. We're coming back to another sit down, prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is known as America according to the Holy Scriptures. We want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Hashem, Hashem Rakakadash.
the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the elect all praise. This lesson is going to be titled, Who Will Own Nothing and Be Happy With It? All right, this is a quote from the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Well, the Fourth Industrial Revolution quote, the WEF is, you will own nothing and be happy. Who's he talking to? He's talking to you Jakes, you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Seminole Native American Indians, man. But we have a question and response. Who are you talking to? You talking to 2/3, but you're not talking about the elect, man.
Right. Yeah, and the devil that made that statement, his name is KLAUSSCHWAB. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't say it because his name, he's like an algorithm name. You know what I'm saying? Like his name come with algorithm because he's so and diabolical, you know what I'm saying, in his plan for world domination. Which the brother off camera, he went into the word diabolical, because we know Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, and to the top of the wicked elite of them, they have a diabolical plan to pretty much enslave the entire world in digital slavery. You know what I'm saying? And to bring the population down to a manageable number. You know what I'm saying? But that's not going to be accomplished. You know what I'm saying? The only person numbers is going to be brought down and who's going to own nothing is you Edomites, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's the word diabolical in the etymology. It says pertaining to the devil, outrageously wicked, right?
Yeah, so the word diabolical, it pertains to the devil. Mm-hmm. And who is the biblical devil? The brother get Revelation 12 and 9 real quick. Because who is the biblical devil on the planet Earth?
I got it right here.
So, yeah.
This is Revelation 12. I'm starting verse 7. It says, when 1,000 years are expired. Oh, you said 12, right? Slack 12 and verse 7. In verse 9 it says, when a great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan.
Yep. And Mr. Schwab is another so-called white person, but biblically he's a devil. He's an Edomite. Okay, biblically he's a part of that great red dragon, you know, which is Esau Edom and his power structure that right now is spearheaded by the WEF, the WEF. You know what I'm saying?
It says, which deceiveth the whole world. It says he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
And they still deceiving by trying to accomplish this NWO, man, through the WEF. You know what I'm saying? They're still deceiving you people by telling you this is going to bring balance to humanity. This is going to bring balance to the food supply. This is going to allow us to have better economies, you know, because everything's going to be monitored closely. You know, we're going to be able to gauge oxygen and gauge carbon monoxide and gauge your blood pressure and gauge, you know what I'm saying?
15-minute cities.
15-minute cities, you know what I'm saying? Where everything you need is within 15 minutes. But what if I want to see the world? Now, why do you want to see the world?
Yeah.
Here, put on this metaverse goggle. You don't even see the world. The world is boring. What about the digital world? What about social media? What about living in your fucking phone? See what I'm saying? This man, he wants to take away what it means to live. The feeling of touch, the feeling of sight, the feeling of smell, hearing. He want to make an artificial version of all of those things. Why do you think he got the VR? Virtual, okay, it's starting with sight. Okay, you put on the VR helmet. Oh, I see. You looking, you seeing, then you hearing stuff. Oh, it sounds so real. It sounds like I'm really there. Next, you're gonna be able to put your hands out and actually touch things and actually feel the sensation of touch, but you're not actually touching anything.
That's, you know, with that VR, you know, you have that visual, you know. But I was thinking too, like with that here being implanted into your forehead. Now that can be able to recreate the taste,
right,
and sending different brain signals to your brain to allow you to taste things and to smell certain things, right, all right, without even having to be there.
Yep, and that's why when you refer to Revelation 13, it talks about the carotid in your hand and in your forehead. Because that forehead carotid is going to be instrumental with, like what the brother said, with merging man with the internet. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be, they want to. I seen Lil Duval, was the comedian Lil Duval. He had tweeted something talking about humans going to be hella smart when we normalize C-hips in your brain. That's what Lil Duval said. He said humans going to be hella smart. Because what Esau wants to do is he wants to connect your brain to Google. He wants to say, okay, look, I'll give you the C-hip. You put it in your brain, and now you don't have to study. Like on the Matrix, he just downloaded that information to his mind. You know what I'm saying? This is his we're speaking on the diabolical plan. Which that word diabolical, what is it again?
It says pertaining to the devil and outrageously wicked.
Outrageously wicked. This is an outrageously wicked fucking plan, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck? Like, because us being humans, we're at what they call the top of the food chain. We never get the thought to, you know what? I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna find some mice, or I'm gonna find a squirrel, I'm gonna put the nigga in a box, I'm gonna put a goggles on his face, and I'm gonna make him think that he actually being a, you know, we don't think like that. Only a Edomite devil would think like that. So read that Revelation 12 again, Baba Kashaw.
Okay. Revelation 12 and verse 9, it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, which called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world.
Yeah.
And he was
brother.
And he was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Yeah, so this man is the devil, which means deceiver. Satan, which is adversary. You know? And he said he deceived the whole world. He's still going to deceive you because this technology is going to be what they call state of the art, groundbreaking. Right. You know, they're going to use like groundbreaking or life changing, convenient. You know, and people going to be deceived by that, man, because you people, you want to live, right, and you want to live in a state that's like close to like what the kingdom of heaven will be. And Esau, he's going to offer you a artificial form of what the kingdom of heaven will be, man.
It's like you said, this is the biggest snare that he's ever about to lay, man. And he's doing it he's doing it deceitfully, talking about, yeah, we're gonna save the world, cut carbon, you know. He's even he's even cutting off animals, man, because he's saying animals release too much fucking oxygen and carbon dioxide, man.
Yep. Slaughtering cattle.
Yeah. And then he's saying they have the flu. No, man. You doing this so you can bring out artificial meat.
Right, but then he multiplied cockroaches.
Yeah.
That was something saying they got. How many?
I don't know how many, but they got a multitude of them. The Moab got called cockroach farms.
Hey, we
are
are
just breeding. Just breeding like these big ass warehouses of cockroaches, and they not like the brothers looked it up before we did the study. Or they looked it up though. They don't explain what the purpose of it.
Right.
It said that it can be used for human food, for food for animals, or for I don't know how to say the word, but
medicinal.
Yeah, medicinal purposes. You know what I'm saying? So
smoking cockroaches?
No, come on, like stuff that heals you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Medicine.
Yeah.
I can say yeah.
I don't get it, but this tell me on camera.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, they not telling you what the cockroaches is for. They're growing billions of cockroaches, but they are putting out articles about humans eating bugs. So if you got a working brain, you might be able to put two and two together that these niggas is taking away your natural food supply, and they want to give you fucking bugs. They want to give you, like, if you watch the movie Idiocracy, them niggas, they didn't even drink water. It was 500 years in the future, and the society had been so dumbed down that they didn't have them niggas drinking water. They was only drinking like this Gatorade type of shit. Yeah. And they didn't even know what water really was, because the water was just something that was in their toilets. So when this dude, I'm just giving you the movie, the dude, he went in the future, 500 years in the future, he was the smartest motherfucker because society was so dumbed down, and he pretty much saved humanity because he told them, look, in order for the crops and the plants to grow, you gotta give it water. Right. It was like, what? Water? You mean the stuff in the toilet? So this is like what their plan is. Their plan is to keep you niggas getting dumber and dumber and dumber and fucking dumber till you don't even give yourself what your body. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your body needs. and what you're giving your body is not what it needs, and pretty much people just be dying off, man. You know. But Salaki, what scriptures, brother, got?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73.
Because the foundation has been laid. That's the diabolical plan. This is the plot of who will own nothing. But who is that for? It's really for you. You know? You got it.
Psalms chapter 73, I'm starting at verse 3. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." And, you know, before you get this truth and you get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of prophecy, how these devils going to be taken down, but before you get that and you look at these devils and how they got abundance and control over all the resources, okay, over all the money, and I think it was Meyer and Bauer that said, "Give me control over money, and I care not to make the laws." But nonetheless, when you look at what they got, you would get envious, okay? You might find yourself angry, so to speak. But once you come to this truth, you know, because when you jump down, it tells you
Verse 2, you keep reading.
it says, verse 4, "For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm." Okay, because these devils, they increase it and their power seems like, you know. It says, verse 5, "For they are not in trouble with men, neither are they plagued like other men," because they don't have to deal with living paycheck to paycheck, you know, how I'm gonna pay this bill. They don't have to worry about the things that natural people, that's like that the average person, okay, down here, you gotta worry about. It says, "Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain."
Because the Lord been allowing them to be the big bully on the block. So the Lord puffing their ass up. You know what I'm saying? So now they're so puffed up that they're like, man, let's go ahead with the plan. Let's just do the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do we have to lose? We run out of time. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta come down on them.
Right. People know who he is. They know we eat him, Mike.
Bro,
You can't hide.
Bro, when I was like 5th, 4th grade, I remember I was on YouTube. Whenever YouTube came out, I was on there. I seen like videos about Illuminati and shit like. That was like back then, and that was small. It was something like that. It was like taboo to even talk about. Now it's like you talk about Illuminati. Everybody know that shit real. So they know they got that. That right there is a fact that they know. Look, we being exposed. They you know, people starting to get smart. They starting to get into us. We just need to go along with it.
And the scriptures already expose them on that, man. You know, you read was it Isaiah the 14th chapter? It talks about Lucifer, right? And Lucifer just goes back to the light bearer, meaning the illuminated ones. All right, so the scriptures it has been said this, right? But the men of the Lord that have made the body of sacrifice, they're telling you and risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right, they're through the spirit of poverty, how about Shai is exposing these guys, man. But you got it up here, Klein.
Back to Psalms chapter 73 and read verse 6 again, says, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment." And, just with the title lesson, which goes back to something that Cotton Schwab has said, "You will own nothing." Okay, that's a powerful statement.
Right.
Yeah, because how the fuck can you make somebody own nothing and be happy with it? First of all, in order for that to happen, the person can't be in their right state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell would want to be own nothing? What do you own? You know what I'm saying? What can you call that your own? Nothing. I don't have no kids. I mean, I got kids, but I don't own them. I have a house, but I don't own it. I mean, I got this hat, I got these shoes, but I don't own them. Nobody in their right mind would want to think like that. But his plan is to put you in a position where you like it and you love it. Which is it's really sarcasm. He already know niggas not gonna love it, but he telling you gonna own nothing, motherfucker. Can you get Psalm 64 real quick?
I was gonna say real quick, the majority of people, they not in their right mind.
Right, that's the point. Right, God,
exactly. They juice stuff. Okay, they demos.
Right.
This Psalm chapter 64, verse 1 says, "Hear my voice, O Most High, my prayer, preserve my life."
Why? Because the enemy at David, and the enemy is gonna come at the house of David. You keep going.
It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the work of iniquity."
Right. This is a secret counsel because although the weft is broad, can't anybody just go up in there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have certain credentials, and then the shit that they put on they broadcast is not the shit that they behind closed doors. So they saying crazy reckless shit on camera. What the fuck you think they saying behind closed doors, man? So read that verse again.
Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
The elect is gonna be hid from that. You got it.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Insurrection, that's a key word. But that word means uprising against an authority or government. And the highest authority on the planet Earth is the prophets. You got it.
Right. It says, who wet their tongue like a sword.
That's what they're doing right now. The word wet means to sharpen. They're sharpening their tongue like a sword. They're using their tongue as a form of a weapon because the things that they're speaking, they're going to turn into legislation. And those legislations is going to cause bodily harm and death to millions of people on the planet Earth. So their tongue is likened unto a sword.
Right, because now you got the WHO. They're about to start warning against misinformation, man. All right. One of those things that he's gonna label as misinformation is what? That he's the devil. He's gonna try to say he's not, and his agenda is 100% perfectly God given. You know, it's his divine right to do this. You know, he's gonna. Man, it's wicked, man.
And he's telling family members to report
Right.
your relatives.
Right.
You suspect your relatives as extremists or something. Yeah.
But they get your mind prepared for that because what they do with the thing, they did the contact tracing. You know what I'm saying, man? To put in your phone who you was around, who you dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So they already prepared your mind to do certain things like that, man.
And that actually got bigger repercussions because, like I said, like that's an app that's permanently attached to your phone. You know what I mean? So you don't know how Esau's going to utilize that later on. You know what I mean? Like I forgot what it was just talking about that contact tracing. They recently was just talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they was also enhancing a facial recognition technology. That's why they were saying that's why one of the reasons why the elites wanted everybody to wear masks so that they can program their cameras to be able to identify people with only the eyes, not need the whole face to. Because before, that's why Jake going to the convenience store and rob it, they only show their eyes because it's hard to identify people. But after the pandemic, they said now they can identify somebody with a mask on. That's why if you go open your iPhone, you can open your iPhone with a mask on, facial recognition, because they improved their technology and they used the pandemic to do it. So anytime the scriptures say, you in Psalm 64, read verse 8 where it talk about, or verse 6 where it talk about their heart is deep.
The Psalm 64:6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yeah, the word heart is the Hebrew word law. So their mindset, their thought process is deep. It's not surface level. They don't want you to put on a mask because you won't get sick, nigga. It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? They want you to put on a mask so, like I said, they can improve their technology. You could get a fucking respiratory infection. You know what I'm saying? You could, that fear is also like a Masonic ritual, I think, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, right. 6 feet apart, 666, you know?
Was that in on that time?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that whole chapter fire.
Yeah,
So you can go though.
This is Psalms 140, and I'm starting at the top. It says, "Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually they are gathered together for war." All right, and this is that war that we're part of right now, man. Because Esau's fighting this war with a carnal mindset, and we're fighting this war with a spiritual mindset. You want to say something? And you know, because why? Because the weapons of our warfare are carnal. So when we even though we don't have anything, we're rich through these scriptures, man. Right. We're prepared through these scriptures. The Lord is teaching our hands to war, right? Spiritually, you know.
Like say what you said. You read said continually are they gathered together for war. That's what was just going on at the secret council they just had. But I think it was either last week or the week before the last. You know, by the West, they was gathered together for a war on the people. You know, a war on the minds, a war on food. You know, so that's what they do continually.
I got one. Back on what that brother said, but based on what you brought out in Psalm 73 about was envious at the wicked. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37. I'm gonna start at verse Start at verse 14. All this was fire. It says, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
Woo. That's us, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they pushing out, they promoting, they propaganda, they media is pretty much to make what we saying look like it's wrong, look like it's wicked. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, a man and a woman should not just be a man and a woman. A man should have the option to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? Then we come and say Moses should be, you know what I'm saying? Right. Oh no, that's hate speech. You know, so everything we say, they have an opposite and contrary mindset. You know, and because we're the target. Regardless of what people think, you might think we're insignificant. We just some little Hebrew Israelites, all right, whatever. Contrary to popular belief, this entire global setup is this entire global structure is predicated upon coming up against us, right. The elect. You know, right? The hopeful elect trying to deceive the elect, man.
The scripture talk about that they only consult to cast it down from its excellency. You know, and what's that? You know, you read about Psalms 83. You know, it talks about the making basically no more remembrance. By what? By taking our power away. You know, so that's how we're getting cast down. But you got it out.
I'm gonna go back into 37. I'm gonna jump up and then I'm gonna come back down and go down. So this back in Psalm 37. I'm gonna jump up to verse 7, and it reads, "Rest in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass."
It said, fret not thyself. We go start with fret. It goes back to worry. Okay, because you're not supposed to worry about these devils. Because at the end of the day, the Lord is going to come through and have mercy on His elect. You know, Lord really will be a part of that number.
Yeah, the wicked belong to who?
God, they belong to Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Exactly. The scriptures say that they are His hand. So if you my son, and my hand is gonna be gracious unto you, you think I'm gonna use my hand? You know what I'm saying? The Lord, if the wicked is the Lord's hand, He can use the wicked to beat the fuck out of us, or He cannot even touch us. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord control the wicked. That's why Yahushua told Pilate, "Thou couldst have no power over me except it was given thee from above." That's our mindset.
Mm-hmm. Scripture say, "If a man's ways please the Lord, and his enemies will be at peace with him." All right, back in this Psalms 37, jump into verse. I'm gonna start at verse 9. "For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, they shall inherit the earth." Verse 10. "For yet
we're gonna inherit the earth." This nigga said we're gonna inherit nothing. But we're gonna inherit the earth, man. You see why we don't like you? We hate you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord promised us one thing, but you promising humanity something else. The Lord promised the meek shall inherit the earth.
I got that right here.
And the Lord said that in my Father's house are many mansions. But here it is, you talking about the earth is not, there's not enough of this, there's not enough of that. But the Lord said we're gonna inherit it, and we're gonna inherit it in abundance. Right. You got it.
Just real quick, this is Matthew 5 and verse 5. It says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." You know, and that's what it is, man. Because we're comfortable, but we're not having nothing, man. You know, when the Lord is feeding us food convenient for us, man. Neither poverty nor riches. Now, some brothers may be a little more impoverished. Some brothers may be a little bit more on the plus side. But hey, man, we all come together, man, so we can fight these spiritual battles, man. You know, you got it, y'all stop.
Back in Psalms 37, verse 10. "For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace."
Abundance of peace. That's overflowing. That's what it is. It's going to say that thou shalt not lack. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to be withheld from anything, man. But what are we doing? We're subjugated to and relegated to the bottom right now, man. Okay, because we have nothing, but we're still happy. But because why? Because we have something that the world looks at and said, "What these niggas must be crazy."
Right, we got a comfort.
Yeah, what's wrong with these dudes, man?
The scriptures talk about come to the what's it, throne of grace with boldness.
Yeah.
So like Isaiah said, yet a little while, because because it would tell you with Job 20:4 that the joy of the hypocrite and triumph of the wicked is but for a moment. So these devils, they only got a little bit of time to rule, and they know that. They tell you in Revelation 12:12, they gonna come down. He know what that he has for a short time, because these devils, these elites, they know the scriptures, and on top of that, they watch the videos.
In that short time, you get in desperation mode, fight or flight mode.
That's why they will come out with red
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
This verse 12, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth.
And that teeth goes back to the word power. You know what I'm saying? Because that wicked has that power to put the Israelites in this impoverished state.
Yeah, that teeth, it represents their military too. You know what I'm saying? So with the teeth goes into the devourer. You know what I'm saying? You do that with their military. That's why Yahweh Bashim Shah said, break their teeth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Yahweh, because he's going to destroy their military.
Verse 13, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Verse 14, again, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. Isaiah chapter 10 tells you who the poor and needy is, which is Israel. We just bring it out in our lesson. Our study. We had to go to this devil for the one of all things. It says
in Isaiah 10, it says the remnant of Israel will not stay on him who smote them. 2/3 of you people, you're gonna trust in this man's plan, man. And it's gonna be beautiful to us to see y'all take this man's charisma, because y'all deserve that shit, man. You've been scoffing at the Lord and his prophets for decades and decades, man. Your actions are about to be repaid toward you, man.
It say, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Verse 15, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. And verse 16, a little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked.
Because the scriptures tell you that riches profit not in the day of death. But righteousness delivers from wrath. And it also tell you that treasures of wickedness profit is nothing. Because these devils, they got everything that they have through lying, deceit, and raping and robbing and murder. But they're going to have to give all that up. And on top of that, they're going to be brought very low.
I got to reset. This is the book.
Let me finish.
Oh, Slocky.
Good, bro. Verse 17. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua upholdeth the righteous. Verse 18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever.
It's like
good, bro?
That's what our inheritance will be. What, brother? It said what?
The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever.
Hey, that's the everlasting kingdom, like it says in Daniel 2, right? Daniel 7. All right, though our joy is going to be everlasting, but the joy of a hypocrite is just for a moment. So this is why we choose to not bow down to Esau's system and try to make a dollar or try to do the things and try to sell our soul and all that stuff for what? You know what I'm saying? To what? To negate what the Lord has promised for us? It's not. It doesn't work like that, man. It's for the Lord's elect. And Lord willing, we be a part of that number.
I'm gonna get these last two scriptures. Verse 19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Verse 20. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. Shall they consume what?
Hey, what was the fat of rams we used for, man, as a burnt offering, right? So America is going to be a huge burnt offering for the Lord, man. Okay, to bring us into that new covenant, because the covenant requires a blood sacrifice. All right, and America will be that blood sacrifice to bring us into the new covenant. So that's why we have to be relegated to a lower state, like Yahushua was. Man, he said it that he made himself as a servant, right? And we are servants for Yahweh. So we have to be lowly men.
Well, Yahushua said he's magnified in weakness. So when the devil gets confounded when by the words of the prophets, that the Lord put on our mouths, he's gonna really be fucking mad. He's gonna do by any means he's gonna come at the elect, man. All right, I got a scripture though. This is the book of Psalms 33:10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect.
Right, because you're in a transition period where these people are transitioning to their NWO. Okay, but the Lord's gonna bring that plan because that's a plan. That's an actual council that took place long ago that they're trying out. But the Lord's gonna bring this plan to naught. Okay, and it's because it's written in His Word first and foremost, and you got the men prophesying that it's not gonna come to pass, man. You know what I'm saying? And that frustrates these Edomites, man. You know.
It says the counsel of Yahweh shall stand it forever. The thoughts of his heart to all generations.
That's all that matters. What the Lord have written, and what the Lord have written is that Psalms 149 that we gonna bind their kings and their nobles with fetters of iron, man. Okay, we're gonna take everything from you because Isaiah the 60th chapter. If you brother want to go here, because it said that your gates are gonna be open continually, and you're gonna bring us your resources. You're gonna bring us your shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be the one that own nothing, man.
Everything out of the Vatican.
Yeah, Lord, bro. Your name is Aishashwa, which means wasted away is he. You're not supposed to have anything anyway. You don't even have fucking color. Lord didn't even give you, you know what I'm saying? Lord didn't give you the basics, melanin. He didn't even give you that.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucked up, bro. You got it, though.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, no, that's right. I guess you deserve it.
You're right.
And that's your role.
Can I get this wrong?
Yeah.
In Joel chapter 20 and verse 18, that which he laid before shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down.
Yeah, see, because you have everything right now. That's why you think that there'll never be a day where you have nothing. But the Lord said that it shall come upon you, and in the hour when you eat it, man, when you least expect it.
It says, according to his substance shall the restitution be,
Hey.
and he shall not rejoice therein.
According to his substance, your substance is what you own.
Yeah.
And they said, according to that, that's what the restitution is going to be. So everything that you have, what that means is everything you have, you don't own it. You stole it. As a matter of fact, you keep reading. I think it said because he have oppressed.
Yeah, that's my verse.
Okay, come on.
It says, Joel 20:19, because he had oppressed and had forsaken the poor, because he had violently taken away an house which he builded not.
You see. So you took away the houses that the countries that you own and you're the head of. You took them away, man. You ain't laid the foundation for these societies and these structures, man. That you just came and took over. You didn't lay the foundation for these heritages that you came and took over. That you came and snatched them. Now I'm the Romans. Now I'm the Greeks. Now I'm the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? You took all that. You took those things from other people because, like I said, you actually own nothing. Can you go to Malachi real quick?
You may be thinking,
Malachi 1.
you may be thinking, like you said, he basically, like you said, taking over another man's foundation. Basically, the scripture talk about don't build on another man's foundation.
Yeah. We're moving the landmark.
Because the Lord said in Genesis 8 or 32 and 8, he set the bounds according to the number of the children of Israel. So everybody had a particular inheritance and a particular plot of land. And here come you Edomites, I want to go on this land.
Yeah.
I want that land. And I want that land too.
Well, he's a child.
Right.
Just compare him as a child.
God, can you get Micah 2 real quick? Two. Okay, got it. Go ahead with that.
You getting something?
Yeah, Malachi 1 and verse 3 and 4, we're talking about this devil. See, you really don't one who own nothing, nigga. You got it.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, and verse 2.
Yeah, you just try to get to the point.
It says, verse 3, it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yeah, you was impoverished when you was in the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia, Russia. You know.
Something about they were eating juniper roots. You know what I'm saying?
Which that's actually good for you.
Yeah.
Because I was meditating on that one day. I'm like, damn, the Lord had them niggas like monsters. You know what I'm saying? Like beasts, like eating juniper. Like you get strong as fuck eating that type of shit. So that's how they, you know what I'm saying, got ready to go out as the Greeks and conquer the world.
Yeah, that's that old phrase, country strong.
Right,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
right.
saying? You know, to be nobody's
Juniper roots, nigga. Like, that's some rough shit. That's like some, military shit. You know what I'm saying?
They had him like the Lord had him like Nebuchadnezzar.
That's crazy.
These states.
It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Did you read the part where it say he laid his mountains waste?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Okay, right, because that's the point I wanted. Your Lord said you laid your mountains, your heritage waste. And you don't really have a heritage. You don't really have anything, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, your land is, nothing grows there. What is your culture? What is white music? Don't say country. Jake invented all that shit, man. Don't say rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? What is your sport? You know what I'm saying? None of that shit you can lay hold or claim to. You're not reaching out the Romans. So you have had nothing from the foundation because that's what you were created to be.
And that's what a vagabond is, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You go roaming around,
right.
You know what I'm saying, looking for things, and the Lord has given you that blessing, right, to be able to conquer people with the sword. Now you have the power to change iconoclasm, you know, take over the scripture talk about, you know, that he oppresses a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. You got to do
Oh, you made me think of something because it's spiritual, like you said. They didn't have really created or invented or brought forth anything except for death. You know what I mean? Like, you know, again, brother brought up you said the sword. You know what I mean? So that's the one gift that they do have. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like the only thing that they really truly created was those ICBMs. You know what I mean? So when you go to the son of perdition, that's destruction. You go to the word perdition. But I got you guys.
Just real quick, because it said it's a quick one. It's Proverbs, you can break down Proverbs 13:7. There is that maketh himself rich, yet have nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet have great riches. Point blank period, man. You made yourself rich, but that don't mean you rich. That don't mean you're valuable. That don't mean you have anything. You really have nothing. That's why when you Revelation 3, it says, you thought because you was, what I was speaking about the Israelites, but they was rich. They thought that they was rich and wealthy, but really they was poor and miserable and blind. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord could give you something and really give you nothing at all. Because if I say, I'm going to bless you with the sword, but then 4,000 years later, I'm going to say, all that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
That's the spirit.
I didn't really give you anything. I really blessed you with a curse. You know what I'm saying?
That's what, and also Revelation 13:10. Okay, because his blessing was a sword, but the scriptures also tell you, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right. So there is that making himself rich and yet have nothing, man.
I mean, it all went full circle. Like I said, the only thing they really came up with was the ICBMs. The Lord put that on their spirit to create, to destroy their own selves. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. We'll start at verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So when you go into whose soul, that's talking about Esau Edom. He's lifted up because he's proud. He's proud. When you go into the eagle, that's a proud bird, and that's why he basically emulates that. You know what I mean? It's the highest flying bird, but yet still it's a filthy ass nasty bird too. You know what I mean? Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, meaning his philosophies. He is proud. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Right. So he can't be satisfied. Right. You know what I mean? So like you said, the Lord set up, and what you say, Deuteronomy, basically he gave everybody their boundaries, their land. But this devil, because he's so covetous, and the scripture tell you not to be covetous, he want what you got. He's gonna try and figure out a way to get what you got, although he got his own.
Yeah. He got that too for you if you want to read it, Micah 2:2.
Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
And that's actual history. You know what I mean? These people came over to this land, basically couldn't survive on the land, got help from, Gad and Reuben and Israel that was already over here. And what did they do? They slaughtered them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, again, what is he doing? He's trying to oppress the true Israelites, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, and tell you everything but those people. He's trying to cleave onto your heritage. Yet still he's supposed to be the Israelites, yet still they in the land, the holy land. Like I said, I think I made mention of this earlier. They in the holy land, but they telling people that they can make pork kosher. How are you gonna make pork kosher?
An unclean thing,
right?
To make clean.
I show you they bugged out and fuck that. You got some more in there?
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
But
on that out.
back in this Habakkuk 2:5, it says, neither keepeth at home who enlargeth his desires, Salaki, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death.
Right, man.
Destruction.
We speaking on the WEF, the W, you know what I'm saying, EEFs, and it stands for World Economic Forum. Like he enlarges his desire to the capacity of the entire planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? And he always talking about it's gonna be another global pandemic. It's gonna be a global economic crisis. It's gonna be a global this, a global that.
Well, I was just gonna say though, but how do you know that? Like how you said earlier.
Right,
How do you know that?
Yeah, the brother said there's an article that said there's gonna be another mutation in 2025.
Right.
Scientists predict. How the fuck can you predict what's gonna happen in 2025, man? You know what I'm saying? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know what I mean? You got something called Illuminati cards. You know what I'm saying? With the Illuminati, you got different cards. You got a card for this, a card for that, and then you got these different historical events that played out. Was that a coincidence? No, man. We already read Psalm 64. You want to say something?
No, I ain't got a precept.
Okay,
So,
you
let me finish this
can
up.
finish that. We got
And it says, as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people.
right. Do anybody got that article?
I got it.
Yeah, you go right to that now because it said he cannot be satisfied, meaning his reach. There is no stop to his reach and how far he will go to control what's under his domain.
And through the spirit, just made me think of Alexander the Macedonian,
Right.
or the Greek,
Right.
because it's supposed to be a common history where basically when he had conquered all that land, because the soldiers basically didn't want to, they tired, they ready to go home and shit. He up there, he wept.
Yeah,
He cried because he wanted to bring more death and destruction.
Right.
So that's just showing you spiritually.
their mindset.
You're right.
It's in them.
So that's why we need Yahabashim Yahshua.
Mm-hmm.
This is out of the BBC, and it says BBC Science Focus magazine. It says,
Now this BBC, that's a reputable source, right?
It says, how much does human breathing contribute to climate change?
Right. Because can you Google carbon tax? Because if I'm not mistaken, that's carbon dioxide, right? So when you breathe, you inhale oxygen and you exhale CO2, carbon dioxide. So the question in the article is, I'm not going to read the article, it's not important. The important part is what they putting out to you. The fact that they put that out to you should make a light bulb go off in your head, like, what the fuck are they playing with this? Where the fuck is they going? Where they going with this shit? You know what I'm saying?
And then when you really go into, like, I believe when I remember, if I remember correctly, we breathe in oxygen because the trees produce the oxygen, but we breathe out the carbon dioxide. But the trees need the carbon dioxide.
Exactly.
So that shows you how cold the Lord is, how you got everything on an equilibrium. But this devil trying to tell you now carbon dioxide is bad or not.
Right.
You know, like this.
Well, they cut down all the trees, so now now maybe an over abundance of carbon dioxide, and Esau cut down the trees to keep that balance.
Well, there's an overabundance of because you got the pollen, right? The trees, there's certain trees that create pollen, there's certain trees that don't. I forget which one it is, but you got the male species tree and you got the female species, and one or the other, I don't know if it's a male or female, one of them produce the pollen, and then the male species is supposed to help that tree reproduce. But what Esau been doing, he wasn't planting no male trees, he was only planting female trees. So that's why you got a lot more pollen out here, and people have a lot of allergic reaction to the pollen because it's an imbalance, because he's purposely throwing off the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? So that goes, like you said, deforestation, all that plays a part. But here now, this guy's coming for your breaths. It's too many people on Earth breathing too much CO2, and it's apparently, according to him, it's affecting the climate.
When you take the time to think about that, if you really gonna try and tax air or carbon, which this devil trying,
He's already doing it.
Yeah, in China, right?
He's doing it right now. Because you gotta understand. Well, I'm gonna read the carbon tax, right? It says the carbon tax is a fee imposed on the burning of carbon-based fuels, coal, oil, and gas. It says
so like cars.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why shit's so expensive, man. It says, more to the point, a carbon tax is the core policy for reducing and eventually eliminating the use of fossil fuels, whose combustion is destabilizing and destroying our climate. And this was released on the 29th of December, 2022.
Yeah. And so remember, I just realized there's an article that talks about how they want to do away with gas vehicles in the United States. They want to ban gas vehicles in the gas stoves because they want everything to be electric. But the thing about electric cars, the Common Sense Show dude, a while ago I watched a video. He was saying like electric cars is the dumbest idea. They're trying to make it seem like it's a good idea. It's the dumbest idea because you charge the car for 12 hours, then you only get 2 hours of drive time, and you can only go but so far. You know what I'm saying? So which ties into the 15-minute cities because he want to keep you in a certain radius. You know what I'm saying? He want to keep you. He want to have a chip in you. Thing in you. He want to keep you within a certain radius. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, this nigga is bro.
Well, when you go into a lot of the futuristic movies,
right.
Not to digress, but when you go into the movies, like I can see him got a way around it because when you go into like Minority Report, you know what I mean? Like they can control, like electricity, they can control more. They can control, like I said, I can store gas.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I can control it on the grid. You know what I mean? So like, best believe it's a reason behind why.
It's an intricate reason too. I did a lesson on that about the gas to electric stoves. They want to make all electric stoves, Joe Biden, whatever, because it's just one less excuse.
Right.
Like if the power go out, your stove go out.
Right.
Normally, if you ain't got electricity, a nigga use the stove to heat the house.
Yeah.
But now if we connect your stove to the grid, ain't no more of that. And it's one less excuse that I gotta give you to why your shit is off.
Well, you gotta go to Egypt for help.
Right. Exactly.
And they use that guys as it's a health risk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to
peace and safety.
Yeah. When there is no safety, man. You know.
I'm gonna jump into the article a little bit. So it says, in one day, the average person breathes out about 500 liters of the greenhouse gas CO2, which amounts to around 1 kilogram in mass. This doesn't sound much until you take into account the fact that the world's population is around 6.8 billion, collectively breathing out around 2,500 million tons of the stuff each year, which is around 7% of the annual CO2 tonnage churned out by the burning of fossil fuel around the world. So on the face of it, we humans are a significant contributor to global warming.
This nigga is a
7% though.
Bro, I'm just thinking about how hypocritical
You're right. That's to show you the devil, though. You know what I mean?
Like, bro, this nigga swearing chemtrails.
Right.
He letting off nuclear bombs in the middle of the ocean. He got trash islands out here, and this nigga got the fucking nerve to come at me for breathing.
Right, man.
Fuck, I can't breathe, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
And bro, I be
see, now I'm getting mad. What Pastor Moore say? See, now I'm getting mad.
I be out in the wilderness, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I do, and man, they be cutting down hella trees, man, in the middle of nowhere, man. So it's like how it's something like stuff like average we don't even see, man. They come like whole acres and acres and acres, man, of trees down.
Yep, that's why the trees gonna rejoice, bro. Brother, about to get the precept real quick, cause see, you destroying the earth. You Jeremiah 51:25. He destroying a mountain, was destroyed the whole earth, man. See, this is why. See, if we was to ever own nothing, it would be because you destroyed everything. That's why the Lord has to move you out the way, man. You know, because the earth is just like our bodies heal themselves. You get a cut, then it turns to a scab, and before you know it, your flesh is like it was before. That's how the earth is supposed to replenish itself when you follow the manual, which is the scriptures, the law. But you're not following the law, okay? So the earth is pretty much like it's sick. You know, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Okay, Isaiah 24th chapter. You can read that Isaiah 14 first.
I'm gonna start at verse 6. Isaiah 14:6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
Right, because I'm thinking the Psalms that says, persecute them, O Lord, that persecute me. The Lord, Yahushua, coming back to persecute your ass, man. See, you've been a persecutor on the planet Earth for centuries, man. Damn near 1,000 years. But Yahushua coming back to persecute you, and when you do, guess what? None of these other nations is going to hinder him. None of the other nations are going to jump up and come to your aid or your defense, none of that, man. You know, once they realize what's really going on. Initially, they're going to jump into the war, but once they realize there's no winning,
Right.
this is the Messiah, you know, so they're going to fall in line, and you're going to be the only one still rebelling, man. You got it.
It say, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Because this man goes around literally chopping down trees wherever he goes, man. You know, and then what does he put there? He puts a fucking building or a parking lot there, man. And this is why you see all these animals out of place. You know, I seen a koala on the internet the other day with his child just walking on concrete looking for his home. But you take away homes, man.
And then they're gonna say it's an endangered species.
Right.
Why the fuck is it endangered?
Right.
Right. Where is it gonna live?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the scriptures talk about that, like the animals shall change places, something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's happening right now. Yeah, kind of what I. And a feather is a tool that's used to cut down trees fast, right? It just wraps around the tree, gets the big ass spinning blade, chops the base of it off, and then it takes it away, man. So Esau is just a mass manipulator of these destroying instruments, man.
And that's one of the key things for the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
The forest, the trees. So it's like, why would you know what I'm saying? That's why in the kingdom, we're not gonna just cut down trees for no reason. The trees that we cut down is gonna be for a particular purpose and use, man. You got something?
No, I was just going to ask you. You read this whole article?
No, I didn't even read it. I just read the title because I'm like, that's enough. But you can go into it.
I was just going to read the second paragraph. There's probably
Yeah.
more, but it's basically going to sum up like what you're trying to get at.
Okay.
Back in the article, it says, anybody on precept?
Yeah, we got one more we're gonna read after you read that though.
Okay, fine. It says, so on the face of it, we humans are a significant contributor to global warming, but in reality, the CO2 we're breathing out is part of a natural cycle by which our bodies convert carbohydrates from CO2 absorbing plants into energy plus water and CO2. As such, we're not adding any extra CO2.
Okay, see, but still, that's what the devil do.
Right.
He'll put out an article, he'll put out a thought in the title, then he'll say, yes, it's causing a problem, but it's really not causing a problem because everything is in a natural cycle. And then he'll come back 2 years later and say, okay, it's becoming a big problem.
Right.
We gotta tackle it. You know what I'm saying? Gradualism.
But this gonna literally, like when I end it, this gonna literally, because like you said, at the end of the day, it's gonna point to who's causing this. Because it says, in contrast, burning fossil fuels like coal releases CO2, which have been locked up for millions of years, producing a net contribution to global warming. So who actually is behind all of it? Right.
Because he said, we humans.
Right.
You know, it's not Moab cutting down the trees. It's not the so-called Japanese cutting down the trees. It's a so-called white man. You know, he's so Edom.
Right. They got a statue of Paul Bunyan. He was an Edomite. You know? What was he?
Right.
Jack, what's the nigga Jack? No, you're right. Paul Bunyan. Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's another one. Jack and the Beans. What is your obsession with cutting down trees, man?
Hey,
I don't get it.
What was that? George Washington and the apple tree?
Yeah.
Was it the apple?
Johnny Appleseed.
No,
It was a bunch of them. You know how many
Yeah,
a bunch of them, bro.
This man has a passion for destroying the earth.
Yeah, bro. Now read that. Huh? You got Jeremiah.
Yeah. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 25. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain.
If the Lord is against you, we against you. King David said, do not I hate them that hate thee, O Yahweh. I hate them with a perfect hatred. So if the Lord said prophesy against Mount Seir, our head is against you, man. That's why we coming out with these videos nonstop through the spirit power and how about Shai. You know what I'm saying? The Lord got us pushing out these videos, exposing you. Because when you really think about the gist of our video, what's the gist of our videos? Well, we're preaching salvation to the elect, and we're exposing Esau, man. That's what every video is. That's got to irritate the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. All the dirt I'm doing, these niggas keep making videos about this shit. So it's like at some point you want to shut these niggas up, man. You got it, though.
It said the Lord which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. You know, that's going to be the end result of the ICBMC in America, which is the headquarters of the so-called white man, you know, Esau Edom. This place is going to be destroyed. It's going to be laid desolate forever.
Yep.
All right. Oh, that's
I got some.
okay, kind of just real quick. This is Daniel 2, And verse 40, it says, "And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, it shall break in pieces and bruise." All right, and we're in that revival of this empire, man, the Roman Empire. Okay, so all the ideologies, the infrastructure, all these things that the ancient Romans did, the modern day Romans, which are the the Amalekites, the elites, all these people that have the influence, okay, still have the same mindset, man. Okay, and it says that this kingdom would subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, it shall break in pieces and bruise. Man, this was happening, man. It's bruising the nations, it's bruising the earth, it's bruising the atmosphere, it's bruising the water, all these things. Because the scripture says that also in Jeremiah 51 about Esau as the hammer of the earth, man. All right, what does the hammer do? It beats the hell out of things, man.
Continue
with stroke, yeah.
Like you say, Isaiah 14.
Yeah, kind of.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got two. Hey, I know the spirit kind of switched, but you made a statement about why is the devil so like adamant and destructive towards the world. This is Micah chapter 6 and verse 12, and it reads, "For the rich man thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth." Like I literally made the statement, like you go into son of perdition means destruction. So they're just destructive individuals, by nature, you know what I mean? Yep. That's why he's giving that story, you know what I mean?
Well, you read also in Habakkuk 2, their soul is not upright within them. I'm also thinking about Revelation 6, it said that he would take peace from the earth. You know? And we also read that Psalms where it say continually they are gathered together for war. That's cheap to talk about you Edomites, man. Let's talk about you Edomites. And you in the West, that's an example of you being gathered together for war. Because it tell you in Revelation 12 and 17 that the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. So this last hoorah that you're gonna come with, the martial law, the sea camps, the Q camps, all that, that's a part of that last war between the Edomites and the Israelites. Another Jewish Roman war. You know what I'm saying? But guess who's gonna win this time? And guess who's gonna end up, you know what I'm saying, with nothing this time?
This is Micah chapter 5, verse 7. And it reads, "And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from the Lord, as the showers upon the grass that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob," it says, "And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off." Verse 10, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. And I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds." Verse 12, "And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers." Verse 13, "Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands." Verse 14, "And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities." Verse 15, "And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard."
Yep. So that's what the Lord gonna do, man, because He's gonna magnify His people, man. He's gonna glorify His people with power. You know, He said Jacob shall be as a lion in the forest among the beasts of the forest, man. Can you imagine a lion? What in the forest can combat a lion? There's nothing. There's nothing in the forest that can take on a lion, not even a bear. Okay? I got one real quick. Isaiah 60, verse 10. "And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So in the kingdom of heaven, all these other heathen nations, they're gonna bring all their resources. The word forces goes into the resource, the natural resources, whether it be oil, gold, silver, granite, copper, palladium, okay, amethyst, anything, man. You're gonna the nations, they're gonna bring all that to the children of Israel. The nations really aren't gonna own anything but whatever we distribute unto them, that's what they're gonna own. And whatever they do earn, they're gonna be taxed, they're gonna pay tribute, man. You know, in that first 1,000 years, I can imagine the heathen, they not gonna earn no money. They not gonna earn, they're gonna be in straight slavery, you know, for that first 1,000 years.
And if I could just say, if I could just add, you know, this is gonna be a resume of the kingdom of Solomon. You know, and Solomon had everything coming in and going out, man.
Yeah.
You know, 40 years of peace, but now it's gonna be a eternity of peace.
606 talents of gold.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
606 talents of gold yearly, I think it said yearly.
That's like how many tons? I forgot. I had a Bible that went into it.
Well, a talent is 75
pounds,
pounds.
yeah.
So you do 75 times 666. See what that is.
Man, they said King David had more millions more gold than the Federal Reserve, man. You know, this King
I
David
believe
alone,
it.
man.
So I believe it. Cause we, you know what I'm saying?
And you think the king and what throne is gonna be established? The kingdom David, throne of David, man. All right, and hey man, you devil, when King David come back, man, you devil got a lot to pay for it, man.
He had all the nations.
Exactly.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 10. I'm gonna read verse 24. It says, the fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. And that's one thing that these devils, these elites fear, because, you know, we very well know that these devils probably be having nightmares about them being in slavery and things of that nature. And guess what it says? The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him. And okay, and they also fear to not have, you know, freedom to do wickedly.
Yeah.
You know, because that's all they want to do. And tell you in the book of Proverbs, they don't even go to sleep unless they can conjure up a plan on how to do wickedness. Right. So it says, verse 25 is the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more, but the righteous is an everlasting foundation. You know, because these elites, they want to do away with our nation, you know, beginning with the elect, because we're the only ones that stand out against the vibration of Esau, Edom, the vibration of wickedness, you know, that do as thou will. We're the only ones that stand up against that, okay, and it's going to lead to an everlasting foundation.
Yeah, it's funny because it's beautiful, man, really, because, you know, to the world is under pressure now, which is true. We are at the end of the world. But really, it's just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, why everybody thinking that it's the end? Our mindset is it's just getting started. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's that comfort that's gonna will the elect to be able to get through it. It's like we got a whole nother outlook. You know what I'm saying on this shit? Whereas somebody else is like, man, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
No hope.
I'm gonna jump.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? No hope. Like you said, no hope. But we have a hope. You got it, though.
Jumping down, Proverbs 10 and 20.
Anybody got any more though?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Proverbs 10 and 28, it says, the hope of the righteous shall be gladness. Okay, the hope of the righteous. Okay, which we hope in earth rule underneath Yahweh Shah, which is that's gonna be righteousness. You know, that's what we hope in. Okay, it says, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish. Because what do these devils expect? You know, going back to the title of the lesson, they expect people to own nothing. And they know they're not gonna be happy, but that's what they throwing there. That's the part of that deceitful tongue that these devils got, you know. But it says that expectation is gonna perish.
I got a precept for you real quick. 2 Peter 3 and 13. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
That's what we looking for. If you tell somebody who love the ways of this world that it's gonna be a day where it will be no more moles, okay, they're not gonna want to hear that, okay. Right. But we can't wait to see that.
I mean, I don't care, bro. As long as them come at me with that shit. It's a typical Negro answer. I mean, I don't give a fuck.
You take time. I've talked to Jake about like just the whole situation with Jake having to do some of the shit he do just to maintain what they got in his kingdom. Right. And men dressing up in drag and all that old, you know, and they, well, that ain't good, that's just acting. No, that shit like Jake fucked up. Yeah, bro.
But they getting that bag though.
Right. You know, like, that's how they justify.
That's how they justify.
Yeah.
But the bag though. But look though, they good though. They family good. They cheap, you know. Fuck all that, man. That's called selling your soul.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of people about to do.
Right.
You know?
For this to maintain your life, to maintain your American field lifestyle, you're gonna take a fucking
Right,
seat,
slavery.
man. Yeah, bro, to maintain slavery. Cause remember when the pandemic, people was begging to go back to work.
Well, not just them. Remember when they shut down the government when Trump was in office?
Come,
Yeah.
Man, you had a nigga woman, and then I'll never forget that. That nigga woman there. Oh, it was funny because that's when the least pride was exhibited from a nigga woman. She was up there, oh please, nigga, you know what I mean? But that was because it was Esau, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, it basically turned back around to what you originally started with. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna have people like that that's willing to own nothing but be happy. You know,
Because our
they
people
know that.
Our people, they don't know what life is.
Mhm.
That's all they know. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
God, this is Revelation 21:7. It says, "He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son." All right, right. But see, you overcome. If you overcome having nothing, right here with like y'all can say in this present evil world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you overcome that, you shall inherit all things, man. Because in Second Ezra, the 6th chapter talks about that the world was made for our sake.
Mhm.
You know, so hey, like the brother had brought out in Isaiah 60 about the force of the Gentiles, our gates shall be continually open. We're gonna get all that stuff back, man. Okay, without no problem. You know, you got that.
And I was just gonna say to add on, and at the end of the day, we don't use make it seem like we have nothing, but we have everything. You know what I mean? We are rich in faith.
Yeah, right.
You know, so at the end of the day, the thing that's the spirit that you said that you made a statement about no hope. And Saint Benji did a video about just like a day or two ago about despair and no hope. We got hope. You know, we got faith. The scriptures, Habakkuk 2 says the just shall live by faith.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you read 1 Timothy 1:1, it says that that the Most High Yahweh is our Savior and Yahweh Shai is our hope. All right, so now we believe the things that's written in the Scripture. So we may be poor and have nothing in the world's eyes, but Yahweh Shai has brought us out of the world, right? Because if we were of the world would love its own. Man. All right, so hey, this is anybody else have anything?
Revelation 2. It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. But are the synagogue of Satan. So like the brother said, man, the true Israelites, the true Jews, they're experiencing poverty right now. They're experiencing tribulation, but in all actuality, they're rich because of their faith towards Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes us rich. And the promise of the kingdom of heaven being promised to the Israelites. That's also what makes the Israelites rich, man. But the Lord said he knows the blasphemy, which is a wicked lie against the Most High, of those individuals that are walking the earth saying that they're Jews when they're really not, man. You know what I'm saying? So it really, to sum up this lesson, man, like Scripture say, ye are of your father, the devil. He was a murderer and a liar from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And bold not the truth, man. You talking about we gonna own nothing, you a fucking lie. What they got a saying in Christianity? The devil is a lie. You a fucking lie, nigga. We ain't gonna own nothing. You gonna own nothing, man. And guess what? You gonna be unhappy. You gonna be fucking miserable, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cause we gonna torment you with righteousness, bro.
I got one based on what the brother was saying about overcoming the world. This is the book of John chapter 16, verse 33. And it reads, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
And since our Lord overcame the world, through his blood, we're gonna overcome the world. Being covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Revelation 12, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word and testimony. And we loved not our lives unto the death, which means, nigga, even if you took everything and we had nothing, we wouldn't give a fuck. We still gonna believe in the Lord. You feel me? You gonna have to take our neck.
Right.
So own nothing. We won't own our neck for this. You know what I'm saying? We won't own our neck for the Lord, man. So there's nothing you could do against the elect. It said that you could do nothing against the truth before the truth, man. So really, you should pack all that left shit up and just, you know what I'm saying, go invest in some chains. You know what I'm saying? That's really all you can really do. Make your money useful, nigga. Invest in some chains. Invest in some pits. Dig some bunch of millions of pits, cause that's where you're going, man.
Right.
You know, Lord, you got some?
No, you good.
You got one more? We got one more. One more. You gonna get another 5 minutes. You got it.
It's Psalm 73, I'm reading 3 and I'm just down. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." You know, which is, you know, before you receive this truth, you will look at what these devils got and look at how you in poverty. You be like, damn, why I can't be like that? Why I can't have that abundance? But then jumping down to verse 17, it says, "Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High." Okay, which is speaking of this truth. It says, "Then understood I therein. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors." You see, and that's what's coming for you, at least, you know, because these low-level Edomites here in America, they gonna be burned, as I said brother earlier, like the fat of rams. You know, they gonna consume it to smoke, the enemies of the Most High. You know, but at least they going into change, you know, and they gonna be the first crop of slaves in the kingdom of heaven when Yahweh shall return.
Yep. And the slave don't own nothing because the slave belongs to somebody else, in case you ain't know. So, Lord, when it's edifying, we're going to close, giving all praise, honor, glory, and worship to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem,
giving us the Holy Spirit to bring out this lesson. Once again, pray that it was edifying to remember the Lord's elect. Come, Yahshua, Shalom. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
Blah, 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 Shalom. Blah, 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 Shalom.